Hey guys, it's your girl Victoria back to you with another review of Married at First Sight, Season 13, Episode 19, Houston Reunion Part 2, Dos. No more parts after this. Thank the Lord Jesus. 2 hours of something that could have been compacted into 1 hour. But we're gonna just start off from the jump. We pick up where we left off with Zach and Michaela's ass. So Zach gets up and walks off because he's just like, yo, we gave her time. I should get my time. So I'm not doing this. I'm out. So then, of course, the producer goes after him because, like, nigga, like, we're on a time crunch. You guys already taken up most of this reunion, just like Paige and Chris did last season. So you going to come back out? And he's like, yes, as long as Michaela leaves. So they're like, all right, Michaela, can you please leave? So she gets up, she leaves. So Zach comes back out. And he tells us, Kevin and America, that pretty much after decision day, him and Michaela, they ran into each other. She was tipsy and all that, saying she had a bad day at work or, stuff going on at her job. So Zach felt bad. He's like, come back to my place. So they go back to his place for like 4 days. And he did admit in those 4 days, they did do. They had sex. They fucked. They all did all that shit. So, but he wanted to be done with her. But I'm just like, you wanted to be done with her, but not done with that pussy. Okay, cool. So after that, Kevin's just like, but don't you think that's leading her on? And Zach is like, no, And he doesn't think Michaela loves him or anything like that. So, I mean, it is what it is. But Kevin said, well, Michaela's telling us you played her. And Zach's like, oh, man, she just lying, bro. She just lying, all that. So Kevin, in this moment, I felt like he was kind of being on Michaela's side, even though he kind of low-key called her a pathological liar before she even walked out on the stage in the first place when Zach was on stage. But, that's neither here nor there, because at this point, I was just like, okay, can we get to Bound Johnny and stuff, because, like, this is too much. So, he says all that shit that she be talking about him is a lie, and he's done, he's focused on him, and Kevin asked about moving forward. Does he think he's going to date again, or how long it's going to take for him to date again? He's like, he wants to date again. He loves love, but like I just said, he's going to focus on him, and he doesn't know if he wants marriage anymore, but he does want kids though. And I'm just like, oh, okay, so you want a baby mama, baby daddy type of situation instead of like my wife and kids, my husband and kids type of situation, Zach, just because of Michaela's crazy ass. And because like I guess it's one of those situations where I guess she done ruined his chances of being married again because he don't want to be what's the word, locked down with a chick. So I mean, if you have kids with her, you still gonna be locked down, Zach. So I don't know where you're going with this, but okay, whatever. Finally move on about Bao and Johnny, and he says it seemed like they were a perfect match. Bao was like, nah, bruh. She didn't say that word for word. I'm just paraphrasing. She was just like, nah, bruh. No. So, of course, they want to show an extended clip of Johnny and Bao doing some role play with the nurse outfit and the patient gown and stuff. And I'm just like, this is cringe to me. I'm just like, okay, I guess. But we move on to when they thought things kind of went down in the relationship, and Johnny tells us that he felt like he could never speak his mind because I guess him and Bao made an agreement that they were going to speak about things in private, not in public on TV and all that stuff. And I'm going to assume he didn't like that. So he more or less called her fake. And he was like, so you don't plan conversations for the show? She was just like, I mean, we planned that we was going to have like a serious talk, but not what we're going to like say word for word. And he's like, okay, I guess we just see things differently. So pretty much from what I'm taking from what Johnny said, because he's always said on the Unfiltered that she makes it seem different on camera. She acts different on camera than she does behind closed doors. And I guess her reasoning is, my family didn't even want to be on camera in the first place. Like, we got to see snippets of them, like, during the wedding in the beginning. But as the season went on, we didn't really see her family like that. So she's like, they didn't even want to be on camera. And, I want to present myself a certain way. I have a job, I have a career, I have family. I don't need my family knowing our personal business. And she wanted to keep the sex life off camera and admitted to Kevin and America that they when they had sex wasn't when they first had sex wasn't aired on camera. So I guess it was sooner than we thought from what it showed on the for the season. And you know what? Even though we nosy, because we watching this show, especially me. But I mean, if you don't want to tell me, there's been couples on the show that don't tell us that. Like obviously we know they had sex, but you don't have to tell us, but we like to know, yeah, because we're watching the show. Like, we invested in y'all at this point. This is the 19th episode, guys. So, yes, I would like to know, but that doesn't necessarily mean, like, you gotta tell us. So, I could get what she was saying, but I guess for Johnny, he wanted to be just real and open. I guess that's the type of person he is. Like, everything's on the table. And it just keeps going back and forth. I wrote a whole paragraph, like a big ass paragraph on this, but I don't feel like I gotta go word for what everybody was saying. So he just didn't like the fact that Bao kind of tried to keep things kept from the cameras. And she was just like, but that doesn't make me a fake person and stuff. But I guess in Johnny's eyes, he felt it did because he was like, he didn't get the warmth that he needed. And I'm just like, Johnny, I don't think that's from her being fake. I think that's just from you not getting the love you needed from your own mama. So, you just try to put your little stuff that you got going on onto Bao. But I mean, I guess they both agree that they're not right for each other. And that's when we get to talking about Johnny and Marilyn. I guess they BFFs and whatever. I mean, he did tell did he say that early on? Or was it no, yeah, he did say that early on. The part one when he was talking about him, Marilyn and Rachel, they're all cool and whatever. So Kevin asked, so if things were swapped, how would it be? He was like, oh, him and Merla would be matched because, he can handle her. They're great friends and they get along well. Then, because he was asking the couples were switched, who would they choose? So they said Rachel and Jose together. And Johnny said Brett and Gil, and I'm just like, that is a good choice. Me and my husband were just like, yeah, I can see that, because my husband was like, she seemed like she liked a little flavor in her milk, and I'm like, yeah, a little chocolate flavor in her milk. So I definitely could see Brett and Gil. Let me find out it was Gil she was texting, but I don't think it was, because the way Gil was crying on this episode, nah, I don't think that was what it was. But Bao said, me and Zach. Because I think Johnny said Bao and Ryan, but Bao was just like, me and Zach, we could get it on and popping. She didn't say that word for word. I'm just paraphrasing. Sorry if I'm talking too fast. I'm just excited because tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So I'm just ready to go ice some of the carrot cake I made for tomorrow. Anywho, so what I leave off? Yeah, so they was talking about who they could be matched with. Johnny made a mention that, he wishes this was like Married at First Sight Australia, because they swap their spouses and whatever. I don't watch it. Am I gonna watch it? Probably not. Kevin asked Johnny if he's dating anyone and stuff. He says, yeah, he's been dating someone for about a month now. So then, Kevin was asking, oh, is it anybody we know on the show, on this cast? He was like, no. He's like, because there's rumors that saying you and Marilyn are dating. So Johnny says, nah, that's not true. And then I guess Bao, she's talking to someone or whatever, but she don't want to put that out there right now. And I'm just like, okay, let us find out in the update episode, you and Zach together. Bao, let me find out. Let us find out. Or confirm it for us that you and Zach are together. Okay? But, at the end of the day, both of Johnny and Bao, they said they wasn't right for each other, so they're just moving on from that. They wish each other the best of luck, and they both said nice things about each other, saying, they both think each other are great people, just not for them. So we move on to the ladies sitting together. I feel like I'm out of breath. We move on to the ladies sitting together, and they were all wearing red and green. Michaela had on red. Mirla had on red, Bao had on red, and then Brett and Rachel had on green. So then Kevin makes a corny joke saying, oh, you guys are like Christmas right now. And I'm like, oh, perfect for the season right now. But Anywho, Michaela don't like Ryan. I didn't really take much from this. Michaela don't like Ryan because she felt that Ryan was too invested in her marriage as opposed to his own marriage, and maybe if he was more invested into his own marriage, then him and Brett could have tried to figure something out. I don't know. And I'm just like, no, I don't know, girl. You not girl. You mad at Ryan because he didn't get into the call with Zach when you was telling him get in this car, and he's just like, I'm gonna get in the car, and she's like, you're not getting in the car. He's leaving. He's leaving. Michaela. All right, that's what you're gonna tell us. But anywho, Rachel tells the girl that her and Jose are together or back together, and I guess everybody was a little shocked, especially Marilyn, because, they best friends over the summer and shit ever since this whole ordeal thing happened. She's like, she was shocked, but, as long as Rachel's happy, that's all that matters. And Rachel was just like, I didn't want to tell you guys because, I don't want, if we got together as a group again, instead of just being like, oh, looking at him like, and it's like, well, what? Girl, that's what's gonna happen when you tell someone, especially your girls, that like, okay, me and him not together because he's doing this, he's doing that. So of course they're gonna be on your side, like, yeah, girl, F him, F him. But if you get back with him, of course they're gonna look at you like, girl, are you serious right now? Like, you had your chance to leave and then now you're going back. So that's one of those things where if I was Rachel's friend, I would have been like, okay, you're gonna get back with him, but I don't want to hear nothing about you, what you and him got going on, because you know how I'm gonna look at him like. So just keep it between y'all. Or if you feel some type of way, tell his people. That's the advice that I always got when I was getting married. Don't be telling your people because they're always going to look at that person like, okay, what did this person do? Like, oh no, I remember what he did 3 weeks ago. So I don't know why you guys acting lovey-dovey because he still did what he did 3 weeks ago. As opposed to if you tell his people, they probably going to be like, if they're real and honest, they're going to be like, yeah, I know he could be stupid sometimes, but just try to stick it out if it's nothing too bad. But that's honestly a whole nother conversation for another day. But we're gonna move on. So we get to Marilyn and Gil because they're not together, and Marilyn says she just wants to be with someone who doesn't make her feel bad for the things she likes. And girl, this is episode 19. Like I said, I don't got nothing else to say about Marilyn. All I can say is like, listen, if that's the way you feel, then by all means, get someone that's going to make you happy and not make you feel bad for the things you like. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with what she likes. I just feel like, especially when it comes to fashion wise and putting her outfits together, she should probably get some help with that. She has the money. So she should probably invest in a stylist. That is all. Other than that, listen, Marilyn, you like what you like. You ain't going to change it. You going to be you. And you're not going to change your lifestyle for nobody. You said that. So at this point, it is what it is, Marilla. All I can do is respect it. Once again, for the 13th billionth time, we can't be friends. Because, the way you be doing and the way I be doing is just on two different spectrums. So, you know what? It is what it is, Marilla. So the experts sit together. They talk about everything and picking people, and Viviana wanted to say we could only do so much, and I'm just like, girl, please do what? You guys didn't do nothing this whole season. You guys barely did anything last season. So what is you talking about, Dr. Viviana? This whole segment they could just throw in the trash because you could only do so much, which is what? Nothing. Bye. Next scene, they sit down with Rachel and Jose. Dr. Pepper suggests that Jose needs to go to anger management, and Rachel and Jose, they're going to work things out. Yes, Jose needs anger management. Rachel needs therapy too. All right, so then we move on to the experts sitting down with Miller and Gil. You see how that's the way I'm going through this review is what I took from it. And frankly, what should have been compressed into 1 hour of this review. So they experts sit down with Marilyn and Gil, and they show the clip of Mirla. They show the clip of Mirla talking about Gil when she was drunk with Dr. Pepper. And Gil starts crying and saying, He's never heard her say that. So like that was the first time he has heard Mirla talking so good about him and well about him. And he's like, "Oh, I've gone through this whole thing without crying." And Gil was just very emotional this episode. Well, for the reunion, he's still hurt and stuff about not being with Marilyn and she. And side note, real quick. I know a reviewer that I've watched. He said, people talking about, oh, Gil's gonna be all right. You're. I want to say word for word for what he said, but I can't. But pretty much he's just like, you're dismissing his pain. And I'm like, I'm not dismissing his pain. I'm just saying the nigga gonna be all right. If it was Rosemary reversed and it was a female, I'll tell her, girl, you gonna be all right too. Because the way Marilyn acting, she don't even care about this nigga. Like, she wishes the best for him and stuff, but she moving forward. She living her best life. So you can't be, you could be hurt and stuff, but at the same time, like, if she not giving a fuck about you, nigga, you know, you need to move on too. Yeah, you could be sad and stuff, but like, you giving her so much power, I feel like, because you crying on national TV, like, you so hurt, so bothered, and she's so unbothered, touching on another man on stage with you. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I'm not trying to dismiss Gil's pain. Like, I feel bad for him, but at the same time, Gil, listen, look at Mirla. She clearly don't really, like, she feels bad, but not really bad at the same time. So why would you want to go back with a girl who's showing you to your face? Nigga, I'm done with you. Ain't no going back to this bitch. Ain't no coming. No. So that's what I mean by Gil. You will be alright. Like, take your time to grieve over the loss of your marriage with her, but at the same time, don't stay there too long, Gil, because you never know, you gonna find better. And I seen the previews of what's gonna happen with the update with them. Listen, you got a girl that, in my personal opinion, look better than her. Or you talking to her, I don't know, that's your friend or something. She look better than Mila anyway. So Gil, you'll be fine. So but yeah, so they just pretty much get on to Mirla, the experts, about what was it, because she's not directly saying what the issue was, but she just like, she wasn't happy. Pastor Cal saying she's scared and whatever. Dr. Viviana saying, if I ask you in the beginning and now, it's like, you're not giving us the real reason or whatever. Dr. Pepper's just like, you're not making no sense. On multiple times you said you loved him or whatever, but now you saying something different. Marilla's just over it. She's just like, I don't know what you want me to tell you type of thing. And I don't know for sure if there's some underlying thing she's not telling us just to protect Gil and not expose Gil, or if it's really just because she don't want to be with a nigga. Because I honestly think if you just don't want to be with someone, you don't want to be with someone. I don't know why they're trying to get to the root of what it is. If she don't want to be with him, she don't want to be with him. Stop forcing someone to stay when they don't want to stay. That's the thing that I have with the experts. Listen, if Mirla, like, I don't like Mirla, but I can respect if she don't want to stay. I'd rather her leave now than they get to somewhere they need to be of years down the line, and now she telling him after, like, they probably already made a baby or something. You know what I mean? So listen, yes, I still think it's effed up that she said it now, after decision day, after he already sold everything and moved in and stuff. But I'd rather her do it now than later. So it is what it is. We get all the cast together, and Kevin, instigating ass, says, "Oh, Zach and Michaela, they're on stage together right now." And he's like, "How do you guys feel about it?" Zach was just like, "I'm indifferent." Michaela's just like, it's whatever. So then it goes silent, awkward for a second, and I'm just like, whatever. And they talk about Gil. Like, Kevin was like, Gil, what's going on in your DMs? Because I know there's probably a lot of people in your DMs. So he's like, there's a lot of females and guys. So, of course, people going to be like, oh, guys, whoa, hold on. But he's just like, no, not like that, guys. But heterosexual guys who's just saying, they appreciate me on the show, blah, 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 blah. So he appreciates the love. And then we go into Jose, and Kevin says, a lot of people were questionable about you and your likings Whether, he didn't want to say it, but should I say it? I don't think I should say it. But, do you like females or do you like males? And he's just like, oh, it's just so funny. Like, I don't know why people think that. I don't know why people get that or, assume that I am, it's just so funny. And I'm just like, Jose, if you don't get that, it's like, I don't know if you delusional or if you just, you know, just not trying not to feed into the blogs and shit. So, whatever you say, Jose. I ain't saying nothing, but I'm saying something. You may not say it on live national TV, but I'm just gonna let time go by until then. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go there. Okay, I'm not gonna go there. So we find out Marilyn and Johnny, because they was talking about who's friends and stuff and whatever. And I guess they had a volleyball team: Zach, Brett, Marilyn, and Johnny. And I forgot what he called them, the pre-marital sets or something like that. So mainly Marilyn, Rachel, and Johnny, they're like best of friends. And uh Marilyn and Rachel, they went to Mexico together, I think they said. Or they went on some trip, Vegas or something together. They showed a picture. And Johnny and Marilyn, they met up in Cancun together. First he said, oh, we went to Cancun together. So it made it sound like something that it wasn't supposed to be. And then he said, no, it wasn't like that. He had something to do in Cancun. She had something to do in Cancun. So they were both in Cancun together at the same time. So that's why they kind of linked up. So I'm just like, okay. And then Kevin was just like, so are you guys like BFFs like this? So then Johnny proceeds to go like, I mean, I don't know. Johnny is the yes or no question. Are you guys BFFs or not? Because you trying to seem like you want to imply that it's something more than what it is. And Mirla's just like, nah, like, we're besties. So Gil starts crying, goes to his commercial for dramatic effect, comes back from commercial, and once again is kind of replaying what they did in the last couple seconds from before they went a commercial break. So, like I said, Marilyn was like, yeah, we're besties. And she's all touching on Johnny and stuff. And, he accepting the touch and stuff. Because you know what it is? That's what he wanted from Bao. He did say he never got a hug from his mom. So, he likes it when a girl wants him. So, the fact that Marilyn's all touching on him, that Bao didn't do, he's loving that. Excuse me. He's loving that attention. Oh my gosh. He's loving that attention. So like I noticed all that body language. She was like all touching and rubbing on him every time she like and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so disgusting. I don't know, maybe because I don't like Mirla, but I'm just like, this is just too much. No, sometimes I just feel like it's just too much. She just does too much. Even with Jose and Rachel, I feel like sometimes they do too much too with their PDA. So um, Kevin's messy, instigating ass asks Gil how does he feel about that. So he's just like, he doesn't feel anything about it. And I'm just like, leave Gil alone. You can see clearly he's distraught. Like, leave him alone. You can tell Gil don't even want to be there right now. So why, Kevin, please, Kevin, please. So we move on with Michaela and her Hurricane Canis, and Kevin asks her how she feels about watching that back, and she just realized that she needs to learn how to calm the fuck down. And I'm just like, yes, Mary, yes, thank you for seeing and acknowledging that. But at the same time, you say so much shit to make it sound nice, but at the same time, you really don't do nothing to work on that. So I don't know. Side note, Johnny did say he's going to therapy. So I'm just like, that's very good, Johnny. That's exactly what you need. Yes. So back to Michaela and Zach. She, for her anger and stuff, she said she needs to work on calming the fuck down, but at the same time, Zach is the one that kind of provoked her to be so volatile like that. She didn't say that word for word. I'm just paraphrasing. So I guess in this instance, that's when Zach tries to apologize for for making her that way. But Michaela was just like, no, you don't care. Just shut the fuck up. Like, you try to apologize, but you really don't care about me and all that stuff. Like, you never cared to begin with. And then Cameron's like, wait, Michaela, Zach is trying to apologize. So Zach starts tearing up, and then he's sensitive ass. He starts tearing up. Kevin was like, go ahead, Zach. And she's like, no, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Hold on. I'm done. Zach, no. Oh, I'm done. I'm done. I'm just like, Zach, man, you still trying to do these antics? This is episode 19. This is reunion part 2 now. We don't need this no more. No. So, Michaela's just like, see, he ain't sorry. He ain't sorry because if you wanted to apologize, you was gonna apologize regardless. He ain't sorry. And then Kevin was just like, no, that's exactly what he was trying to do, Michaela. Like, you need to calm down. So, he tries to move on because it goes silent for a couple seconds, and then Kevin goes into like, okay, so who do you think everybody would have been better suited with each other? Kind of mixing up the cast with each other. So that's when it goes to commercial for dramatic effect, comes back from commercial, and Gil is just like, I'm a head on now, I'm not doing this and stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, because you don't want to hear. Because first Miller was like, well, I think we already know. And Gil's like, yeah, I'm not doing this. So then I'm just like, yeah, because they're probably going to say Johnny and Marilyn's ass since they so BFFs right now. Besties, as she say. So he gets up, heads on out, gets a little quiet. Then Michaela get up and run out. Then you see her, Gil, in his dressing room and stuff, taking his clothes off, and she go in there, she runs up to him to give him a hug, and I'm just like, I did not see that coming. I'm just like, so they best friends now? If anybody, I would rather see Brett, to be honest, get up and go after Gil. But we could have Michaela's crazy ass do it, I guess. But I was just like, really? So then we go back to the stage, and then Johnny was just like, definitely didn't want to hear that. Definitely didn't want to hear that. Like, try to make some jokes and stuff. And then Rachel was just like, Johnny's not right now. Stop it. What did I put what she said? Okay. Definitely didn't like that question. That's what Johnny said. So Rachel was like, Johnny, back off. Back off. And I'm just like, yes, Rachel. Tell Johnny, shut the up. Okay, right now, no. Okay, the only person at this point who could be comedic relief is fucking Ryan's ass. And sometimes he get on my nerve, but I love his sarcastic humor. And in this moment, he was just like, well, I think they're going to be a while, so we can, we could probably move forward and move on. And I'm just like, listen, I laughed. My husband laughed because I'm like, that's something my husband would say. To be honest, I feel like Ryan is like, he's there to do what he needs to do, his job, but at the same time, he's not trying to prolong his hours if he don't need his hours to be prolonged. So he's like, all right, let's just move forward, get to what we need to do so I could complete my contractual agreement so I can get my check and be on out. Okay, can we move forward, guys? Producers, I see. Can we move forward? Kevin, you can hear me, right? The reception is good on the TV, Kevin. All right, because my contractual agreement. Okay, I got a few more minutes. We could move forward, right, guys? Oh, okay. That's exactly what I feel like Ryan was trying to do. So, yeah, he was just trying to move forward, and then in the back, Michaela and Gil sit down. Now Gil starts going off and talking about, his energy was just so off. He just doesn't want to do this right now and stuff. Yes, Gil, because you hurt. You hurt. You want to be over and done with this and move forward. So he's yada yada in the back. And I guess, like I said, Merle keeps touching on Johnny and shit, and of course he loving that. He eating that up because he's like, this is what I wanted. I bet in his head he's like, this is what I wanted. Why couldn't Bao be this? Why couldn't she touch on me? This is what I needed. I needed the warmth. I needed the touch, the feels, and all that stuff. So he's loving it. He eating it up. So I guess the producers asked if Gil and Michaela want to come back on stage. They say no, and pretty much that's where it wraps up. It shows like little clips of the good times and all that stuff, and you know, that's it, guys. That's season 13 of Married at First Sight. They show sneak peek of season 14 of Married at First Sight, which I believe is probably going to start end of January. I will be reviewing that. Yes, yes, yes. um, and like I said, what's going to show up next for where are they now? Season 13. Am I going to be reviewing that? Probably not. At this point in time, season 13, episode 19, I've given all the energy I can give for this season, and I'm just gonna. I'm still gonna watch it. I'm definitely gonna watch it, but I don't think I'm gonna do a review on that. We shall see. If you do see a review for that, I just lied to myself, but I don't think so. But that is it, guys. That is season 13 of Married at First Sight. Thank you so much for watching. It is 1 hour until Turkey Day here in the United States of America. So, happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody out there from me and my family. My family's outside. My husband's outside doing I don't know what. But I do have a shirt that does say, oh my gosh, it says humble. So, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye.